Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. So 25 Republican senators blocked the Honoring Our Pact Act. That's a bill that would have made it easier for military veterans to receive medical treatment for their exposure to toxins, things like Agent Orange and then substances that were burned in burn pits. Some are saying this was a retaliatory move by the Republican senators in response to the deal that Chuck Schumer just cut with Joe Manchin that was for a scaled back version of Biden's Build Back Better plan. In election news, disabled voters in Wisconsin filed a lawsuit in response to their state's Supreme Court ruling that voters have to return their ballots themselves, and they outlawed ballot drop boxes. And the Republicans' extremism might literally be costing them because donations to their Win Red platform dropped by 12% in the second quarter of this year, while at the same time, Democrats have experienced an increase in small dollar donations. Speaking of extremism, Kansas residents will be voting on a constitutional amendment on August 2nd. That's to decide if their state constitution protects the rights to abortion. And the amendment is written in a way that a yes vote means you're opposed to all abortion, and a no vote means you support a woman's right to choose. So leave it to a red state to write a law in which no means yes in regard to women's rights. And in South Carolina, a judge denied a request to temporarily halt their state's 6-week abortion ban while women's rights groups challenged the constitutionality of that ban in the court. In racial justice news, the final 2 officers were sentenced for their part in the death of George Floyd. Alexander Kueng was sentenced to 3 years in prison, and Tu Thao, I believe is how you pronounce it, received 42 months behind bars. In financial news, the Fed increased the funding rate by 75 basis points, so 0.75%. And the IRS is actively working now to increase audits for high dollar earners. For many of years, low wage and middle income earners have been far more likely to be hit with an IRS audit because the IRS claimed that they didn't have the resources necessary to audit the more wealthy taxpayers and their more intricate tax returns. So this is a very welcome change. Thanks so much for watching and listening, guys. Thanks for the quickie. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.